Have you ever heard the phrase, suicide is the easy way out? Or perhaps that it's for cowards that aren't tough enough to survive in the real world? Well, I'm here to tell you that they're not quite right. In fact, they're absolutely uninformed and ignorant. I'm here to discuss suicide and how it is a reflection of a failed society and not of one's character. In order to criticize, first we must identify who is at the center of discussion. Who are these cowards that people refer to so casually? It's way too vague and nondescript. So let's take a look at some well-documented statistics, shall we? Provided by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, in 2013, we have the 10 leading causes of death by age group. What immediately stands out is that from ages 15 to 24 and 25 to 34, suicide had come in second for leading cause of death. If we go back further, both the years 2012 and 2011 remain the same for the second leading cause of death. So we know these individuals are young. Let's see what else we can find out through statistics. Again, in 2013, those who died by suicide were categorized as male and female, with males at 77.9% and females at 22.1%. Now, here's a couple of important things I need you to keep in mind when reading this data. The first being the gender categories. There's no formal record keeping of those that exist outside the binary, and there's nothing that delineates between cis and trans individuals. That makes the data not as useful as it seems. Then there's the fact that the numbers are encompassing all of the age groups. So in fact, that 77.9% doesn't exactly tell you how much of those males exist within the youth group. Nonetheless, males are prevalent and they are represented by this data as a type of individual that is greatly affected. They will not be dismissed. But for now, let's keep going. But what about race and ethnicity? According to the CDC, suicide rates were the highest in white people at a rate of 14.2 people per every 100,000. At a much lower rate for comparison were black people with the rate of 5.4 people per every 100,000. This is another case of knowing how to interpret the data. If you take into account that there are 245,532,000 individuals who identify as white and 45,003,665 individuals who ID as black, and you do a little math, you'll discover that the rate of death by suicide among the black community is larger than the white community. To put it plainly, more white deaths occur because there are more white people overall living in the US. But why even point this out? Well, when reading data, we like for our numbers to be consistent. You see, when there is a large ratio of deaths in a significantly smaller group of people, that means that there are underlying variables that lead to resulting factors that produce such dramatic results that it makes a difference. But more onto that in the next video. So according to the statistics, we're looking at a young white male. But I'm not going to stop there. We can't just leave out gender identity and sexual orientation. Let's keep going. In January 2014, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, along with the Williams Institute, created a survey to collect data on suicide attempts among transgender and gender non-conforming individuals. It is an extensive report that includes factors such as race, ethnicity, education, employment status, sexual orientation, and more. The survey also categorizes suicide attempts according to the stressor, including housing, family, medical care, or general anti-transgender bias. I've linked the study below. Suicide attempts by lesbian, gay, and bisexual individuals are 20%, and transgender and gender nonconforming are 41% in comparison to the 4% of self-reported suicides of the rest of the US population. In the age group 18 to 24 and 25 to 44, 45% of trans and gender non-conforming individuals have attempted suicide. This is an alarmingly high number! It supports the previously viewed data, and by extension, we can assume that trans and gender non-conforming individuals are included in those CDC reports, even if they're not reported as their correct gender. Last is race and ethnicity. American Indian and Alaska Native is at 56%, multiracial at 54%, and Black individuals at 45%, they had the highest percentage of suicide attempts. This makes race a noticeable factor. So here we've come to our second individual, a young trans or gender non-conforming, non-heterosexual person of color. We have arrived at our cowards, everyone. But both of these individuals seem to not have a lot in common. In fact, they have markedly different lived experiences. That's for sure. However, both are at risk. And aside from telling us who they are, these statistics do nothing to tell us why these individuals might commit suicide. In the next video, I'll tell you what role society plays and how ultimately these cowards aren't cowards at all. As always, this has been Vinny T, and I thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed and hope to see you again next time. Bye!